all of you. There is maybe much more we could say, but my experience is not so big in the ashram. But one thing that inspires me a lot also is the book distribution, because I know that Maharaj is fond of it, but I just had, also lately I was just having this, I was trying this thing that I heard that he, when he was a brahmachari, sometimes he would cook all the offerings during the day, and in the evening he would go distribute books. And I was always thinking, my God, this is really inspiration, like someone has to be really inspired to do that. And I thought, I don't know, I could never do that. And then a couple of days I just tried. Of course I didn't do all, I didn't cook all the offerings, and but like after a day of service, I tried just going out, just for a few hours. And honestly, those were the best days. Those were really the best days of book distribution. And I could really see that Krishna actually helps so much. It was really, and then that's how the inspiration comes, I guess, when we decide, we choose to stay and to just try hard. And I guess these struggles, they are actually mercy, because that's when we try harder, we work harder to improve and to try to please the devotees. And I guess no. I'm gonna stop, but maybe if you if they want me to say something else, but that's pretty much what I had to share. As I was saying, I don't have so much experience, but I just wanted to thank the devotees, and I pray that I can just stay on the boat, and by your mercy, and thank you very much for encouraging us. Oh, and there's a nice story, I remember now. Okay, it's gonna be longer, don't worry. I remember this nice story I heard from, there's this devotee, Janet Harrison from London, probably you know her.
She was in Montreal?
She was in Montreal just recently, and I used to follow her blog, and she has a blog, very nice, and she, one day during the Kartik of 2013, she was in India, and she organized this morning of remembrance for Yamuna Devi. And I was hearing the audio, it was like a lot of devotees were speaking, and she was the last one, and she said, she was the one speaking for the youth. And she was saying how grateful she was for Mother Yamuna, because she had not so much association with her, but the few times that she associated with Mother Yamuna, she said it was just so inspiring, because she said Mother Yamuna, she would just see the good qualities in me. She would just find that spark, that little bit of good thing. She would just find that so much, and that would become big. And she said she would actually hear what I had to say. She would really, she thought it was so important what I was saying, even though it wasn't so much, but she really listened, and she cared for me as a person, and she said that had so much impact on her Krishna consciousness. That from that moment on, she actually became more and more. She was more implicated, and she was doing more, and she actually embraced Krishna consciousness because, when I don't have you have this experience. Maybe you can talk about it, like of being born in Krishna consciousness. Because she said it's something that was given to me, but I had never really actually embraced it as my way of life and my choice and my practice. And from that moment on, because of that devotee, I started to actually feel that as my expression. And she would just say how Yamuna was always so absorbed and all these good qualities that we know that she had. And I was thinking that's exactly how I feel about this invitation to be here. I just feel that Guru Maharaj and Shankar Prabhu just seeing, that tiny drop of good Krishna consciousness there, and they're trying to fan it, and just trying to inspire, to motivate us, and I'm very grateful. And I guess that's it. Thank you very much. Ganga and Gaurangi, they are, as I said, born in Krishna consciousness. They're the daughters of Nitai Prabhu, Nitai and Tulsi. They're very inspiring. They have this amazing service they're doing. They're going to talk about it. Alright. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So my name is Ganga. I'm 15 years old, and I'm the parents of Mother Tulsi and Nitai Prabhu. Oh, my parents are. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, my parents. I'm sorry. Okay, my parents are. Okay, okay, sorry. So the reason why I'm in Krishna consciousness today is because of them.
That's all good.
That just shows their sincerity. Like they're really sincere girls. They're doing so much. They're helping Mother Media or the Sunday school. They're doing this amazing job. It's so important. Mother Media for years and years. She has been doing this by herself, and they grew up with her, and now they're taking this service and taking care of the youth. They're the youth now, and they're taking care of the small ones. That's really beautiful. Yes, they're amazing actresses, and Gaurangi is the director. It's just, I wish we had videos here to show. We're sorry our presentation is not. Everyone had such nice fancy presentations, but maybe one next time. But they have these amazing dramas. The last one, this is about.
I'm really sorry, I wasn't supposed to cry. Because they do a lot for me. So. So I go to Sunday school, right? Because I'm 15, and it's something that starts when you're 3. I'm really sorry. So it's something that starts when you're 3, and it goes until I'm going to graduate in June. So basically, I have a year left, and no, it's okay. And Sunday school is really nice. From a young age, you learn about Krishna consciousness, and it's really fun. We do a bunch of projects and activities, and just last week we went apple picking. There was a bunch of devotees that came, so it was really sweet. And so like you see like this activity you do, like outside people they do it, it's fun. But when you go with like devotees and like everyone, it's like all like everyone's like you know, just like all like connect together. It's really sweet. It was really nice. Like a bunch of people did show up, so it was really sweet. And yeah, so it was nice. Now my journey, I'm like all not in order, but anyways, sorry. Like I set up and I said, okay, I'm gonna go like chronologically, I'm gonna make my things make sense. But anyway, sorry. So growing up in Krishna consciousness, since I was born in it, there's nothing much. I was born in it, so it's like woo. But it's like when you go to school. Being born in Krishna consciousness, it's like when you go to school, right? Like you're in school, but now you have to make your way through like graduating, passing like primary and then secondary and then college. Being born in Krishna consciousness is the same thing. Like you're in it. Now you have to find your way. You have to see, are you gonna take it or you're not gonna take it? And I'm taking it, and I'm so glad I took it. Like, wow. Like, I took it, you know, and like Krishna consciousness is like a wonderful gift, you know, and it's really nice. So being born in it, I appreciate it so much because like that's what we're trying to do, right? We're trying to bring people in Krishna consciousness because it's such an amazing thing that we're trying to give what we have to other people. We're trying to share it. So that's how you understand how important this mission is. When you're trying to give it to others, that's how you appreciate it. And me being born in it, like I really have to like wake up and say, oh my gosh, like this is a wonderful gift I have, and I have to cherish it. Because like oftentimes when you're given something, you take it, right? Oh, you appreciate it. It's given to you. But then like maybe you're gonna lose it, and then you realize like how much it means to you. And the same thing being born in Krishna consciousness, it's already with you, but you really have to like take it in and really like appreciate it. And like I'm still growing in Krishna consciousness. I have a big journey to go, but I'm happy that like I'm following it and like I'm still on that path. So I'm grateful for that. It's important that when you're a young kid, you know, and your parents they try to like as much as possible like talk about Krishna, so that way like you always grow up and like you know you're in Krishna consciousness. So me when I was small, it's a funny story, so it was really loud. Me when I was small, I remember I was like 5 or 6 maybe, and I was crying, and it was like the night, you know, so I was crying, and my mom, she didn't know what to do, so much I was crying, you know, I couldn't stop crying, I had to go to bed. So she was like, Gaga, stop crying. And then I just kept crying. And she's like, Gaga, if you don't stop crying, Hiranyakashipu's gonna come. And I'm like, oh my god, I don't want him to come. And I was like, okay. So I was like, okay. And I was so tired, I go back to sleep, you know, because I didn't want him to come. So like, my mom, she like, even in like the most random times I'm crying, you know, even like in the most random time, like, she still reminded me, like, you know, like, okay, Hiranyakashipu, like, evil person, but, you know, like, someone's a link to, like, Krishna and everything. So, it's very important that, like, from a young age, you talk about Krishna to your kids, so that they can always grow up, like, in Krishna consciousness, and it's very important. It's very nice. So, I'm glad, like, she told me something like that. So, yeah, it's nice. So yeah, that's one thing. Going to school. I don't go to Gurukul, I go to like a public school, like most of the kids here go to public school. And what I realized is that you're different. You're like completely different from other people. You don't eat the same thing. You're not like them. You don't think like them. Like it's really different, and you have to cope with that. Like, because you are different from others, but you're different. It's a good different. Like, you want them to be like you, you know? Like, it's good different. Because you have like something that they don't have, and like just like dealing with them, like you can see like when you go to school or you interact with like people that are non-devotees, that's when you realize how association is really important. Like, I don't know, like if I was an outsider, I'd be lost. Like they don't know, like they're completely lost. Like what they think is happiness isn't happiness. And like I go to school, and now like I don't know, their fun is like, you know, some kids they drink, some kids they smoke, and like I see that, and like, it's just that's their happiness. That's where they find like they're happy. me, my happiness is being in Krishna consciousness, doing kirtan, like good things. So like that's when you realize that like association and keeping your bonds with devotees is very important. And that's why like Krishna consciousness, it's important to have like a family that like everyone cares for each other. Like it's really important because I go to school and like the world is different there. And like I try to like as much as possible like stay like I know who I am, like I know where I stand, like okay, stay like like me, not like become like them. Because it's just like it's okay to have friends. Everyone has friends like outside of Krishna consciousness. Like it's fine, but you can never think that you're gonna be like them because you're not. And it's just important to just like always remember like who you are in these circumstances. Because like you go to school, you go to work. I go to school. That's why I took this. But if you go to work, it just becomes the same thing. So it's important. Association is really important. And yeah, so that's my school journey. So in our temple, so Gauri Gopika Krishna consciousness, it's a lot of fun. Like there's a bunch of like young devotees like Radhika, she's like my friend, so we grew up together and it's fun. Like we share like a lot of things. Mother Meghna, she does she started a Sunday school with us, so it's really nice. Like everyone is just. It's nice to grow, and especially like when you grow up like in the temple and everything. Like everyone remembers you when you're small. They say, "Oh, that's so cute," and oh, so like they tell you about you, and then you're like, "Oh, okay," because like you don't remember it. So that's really sweet. Like everyone just becomes this like huge family, and it's very nice. It's very very nice. So still on that path of Krishna consciousness. I'm still on my journey, and I'm not gonna leave it. Like I'm not. This is an amazing thing I have, and I'm going to keep it. I am. So, that was my growing up in Krishna consciousness, and there you go. I'm happy that I took it. And I encourage, like, a bunch of young devotees to do things together. Just, like, always stay together. It's a lot of fun. Like, it's important to create a bond with each other, because you guys, like, you go to the same temple, it's important to, like, not just say Hare Krishna, but you know who that person is, like, it's important. So I recommend that like everyone should just always like be together and have this like nice like family love and just always be together. So thank you.
Hi everyone. So I am the eldest daughter of Nitai Prabhu and Tulsi Seva Mataji. My name is Gaurangi. So yay, that's
yeah, she's my sister.
Okay, so we have pretty much the same beginning. Like we grew up in the movement. Our parents brought us up. They are our primary first gurus. So we thank them both. And I see my mom. Hi mom. So my childhood in the movement, Iskal Montreal is my second home, is my first home as well. I grew up there. I've seen myself, my pictures being grown up there. Mother Meghna took me in Sunday school when I was about 3 years old. She is my spiritual teacher, and I thank her so much for that. And I'm about to tear up something. Okay, so I grew up in the movement, like with my sister. She came after it, but we grew up like it was really nice. The whole childhood experience is really amazing. I made little young friends. We were all together. We grew up in the movement. We did so many plays in the beginning. When we were kids, we would do so many little dramas. I remember many of them. They were lots of fun, and. Growing up in the temple is amazing, like my sister said. The association is so important. The people around you, they mean so much to you because this is with whom you grow up. You look up to them. Some have so much more experience than you do. You want to learn from them. And you don't stop learning. And when you're in Krishna consciousness, every single day, every single moment, like today, all the seminars that are being given by so many great devotees are so inspiring. Like Fernanda and my sister, they did wonderful speeches, and that's also inspiring. I can learn from them too. And childhood in ISKCON is pretty much that. School, growing up to school, I went to school, public school. I was the type, like, you know, who always took Krishna conscious. Like, it was something I cherished a lot. So when I was at school, I would read like all the books, like Mahabharata, Ramayana. My friends don't freak out. They'd be like, "My God, you read such big books. What is in there? Who's the food person?" And I'm like, "That's Krishna." They thought it was a girl, and I had to explain to them. And it was such an adventure when I was small in primary school. There was one really nice thing that happened to me, and I'm really happy and I'm grateful. It was my gym teacher's birthday at some point, and she was talking to me and Fernanda, who is this Mexican devotee who's out in Mexico, one of my friends, and she was telling to us how you know, she wants to become vegetarian and everything, and then we were talking to her about the Krishna consciousness, vegetarian, how it's important, and we brought her the Higher Taste on her birthday. We gave her the Higher Taste book, and a few weeks later she comes to us, and then she's like, she said, "I've transformed. This book transformed me." She even came to temple with Ganga's other teacher, who was a friend of her and Maya Mataji. They both came, and me and Fernando, we felt so happy that we could change someone like that, bring them a little, not like, a little closer to Krishna. So that was like that was like one of the great experiences I had when I was a small kid. When I would go to secondary school, I was also like the type, I read all kind of Krishna conscious books and things, and the prasadam part is like the most funniest thing, because my parents would cook such nice prasadam, and I bring it to school for lunch, and my friends would just keep staring at my plate and be like, "Can I have some?" And then I'm like, "Sure," and I always give them spoons, so either I don't finish my prasadam because I have to give it to like so many others, and then they're like, "Where'd you get this?" So I'm like, "My parents cook it, I'm vegetarian," because sometimes, you know, they think, "Oh, you're vegetarian, what do you eat? Like, salad?" And I'm like, "No."
Like, they compare it to a rabbit. Like, how sad is that? I'm like, dude, I don't just eat carrots and like salad.
They would always tease me. They're like, "Oh my God, you only eat grass." Sometimes they say you eat grass, you eat like salad. I'm like, "I don't." And then when I was in secondary too, I brought them to Rath Yatra. That's the first time I actually brought my friends to temple. I brought them to Rath Yatra because Rath Yatra is such an amazing festival. You know, it's outside, it's public, people, they can connect, they like it a lot. And they came, and I brought them to the prasadam booth, and that was the first time they saw like paneer sabji, chole sabji, halwa with blueberries, like the best thing in the world for them. And they came, they had it, they loved the experience. I brought them to the temple for Sunday feast. Sometime I had birthdays happening, so I would bring them there. They always, prasadam is what they cherish the most. Prasadam, well, food, who doesn't like food, you know? So they always loved it. When I would invite them again for Rath Yatra, they'd be like, "Oh, is that cheese thing gonna be there? Like the paneer sabji? Will that like chickpea thing be there too? They wouldn't say halwa, but they say like, I think pudding with like blueberries." And I'm like, "Yeah, all that is there." And it's like, okay, we're coming. And then secondary pretty much grew up that way. Like, I'd bring my friends into temple, I would bring them to the festivals, so then I would keep my balance between school life and Krishna consciousness life together. What else can I say? Right now, I graduated from Sunday school, I think a year or two ago, probably with Mother Media. Mother Media, she decided, like, we're supposed to graduate at the age of 15, but me, John, Vanitilam, we were like, you know, I was the youngest, and everybody else was getting older, so we like pushed it on a little bit more till we were like about 17 or so, and we graduated now. She gave me permission not to actually teach younger children, so now I teach like the little kids who are like about 3, 4 up to like 7 years old. They're really adorable. I love doing it. It's amazing. They love to be there. We do like many times. Sometimes there's no Sunday school, so they come to me because sometimes we get vacation and stuff, and then they're like, "Are we going to Sunday school?" I'm like, "No, not today. Not now." They'd be all upset, and I'd be upset, so then I would go. And that service is amazing. It's so nice, like, to get the kids involved. They look up to you. You want to make sure, like, you know, they grow up properly in movement, and you want to take care of them. Like, she's also going to finish them, so she'll be also involved. Honestly, I didn't want to finish. I still got so much to learn, and I still ask Mother Media questions sometimes when I'm not too sure. And it's a growing experience. What else can I say? Now we're doing lots of plays. We're like more involved in doing lots of plays during festivals. No matter what, any festival that comes, we try our best to organize plays. We're trying to have a youth group. We want to organize a youth group. Like, youth gets together, do plays together, and people, they love it. They love to see dramas. These stories that are in the book, we just make them. We want to make them alive and show them how it is. And it's a great service. This all started with Mother Media when we were little kids, and then Tulsi Baba, who is now preaching in Lebanon, and Radha Krishna. They did plays. We were involved in it, and then me and my sister kind of took over a bit. Whenever we have the chance, we get the time, we get to do the plays, stories. We did our last production, one of the biggest ones we've done, I guess, is the story of Agasura. It was such an amazing experience. I think I'm also
It's very fun. Like we actually had like a huge Agasura. Like there was like kids. They were playing like the young worlds, like Krishna's friends and Krishna. And like it was so big, and like oh my gosh, all the credit goes to Damodar Prabhu. Like
Damodar Prabhu did
like Agasura. It was really nice.
And all the credit goes to my mother.
Yeah, and like his mom, they worked so hard.
She made the Agasura.
This whole Agasura was so alive. Like when we performed it, it was amazing. It was so huge. The mouth was like we had strings in the back that pulled them out open. The tongue was all like puffy and like and the kids would love to go inside. We had like it was an amazing production. We had so much fun doing it. Now our future plans, I guess. What are our future plans?
It's funny because the Ramayan.
It's on it.
But no.
If you want to see the play.
Oh yeah, that too. If y'all, we invite you all to see the production that we've done. It's on YouTube. I believe it's the story of Agasura.
It's also on Montreal.
Or on our website, it's called Montreal.ca. There is the whole play production. It's really amazing.
You have to scroll a few down.
And then there's lots of plays. We do a lot of things, so you'll see it all. And now our next goal, our production, is to do the Ramayana, the musical. We have lots of plans ahead of that. So yeah, I think that's my story. There you go. To conclude, I guess I think we all have the same conclusion. All of us are all here, especially one of the reasons is Srila Prabhupada. If it wasn't for Srila Prabhupada, none of us over here would be here all together, sitting, listening to each other, enjoying kirtan, enjoying everybody's association. Srila Prabhupada came to the West to preach and integrate so many centers. We are extremely and ever grateful to Srila Prabhupada for bringing us all together here. I am grateful, we are grateful to the parents, the devotees, the senior devotees who surround us. Please bless us so that we can continue to do service and we may also learn from you all. Thank you.
I just wanted to say one more thing. Yeah, I guess just as a conclusion too, I guess that what the youth can do, us as youth, we can to remain inspired is just to always search for this association with the devotees. As Maharaj was saying, the devotees, they have Krishna, they can give all this to us, all this mercy comes from the devotees, and it's so available. They're willing. We can see what's happening here. It's by your mercy and your tolerance, and it's a great mercy to us. And I guess all we have to do is just look for this association always. And that's my experience. Every time I go to the devotees and I ask for help or I ask for something, they just give so much more than I expected. It's like, and Karina Sindhu, like Srila Prabhupada, it's just Srila Prabhupada coming through them. And I guess that's how we can serve the mission of Srila Prabhupada, just by holding on to the lotus feet of the devotees. We serve this great mission, and I'm very grateful to have all this association, to be part of this family. It's really great fortune, and thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Before these mothers get up from the stage, I just want to say how their presentation, how much it lived up to the title of being inspired in Krishna consciousness.
Thank you.
As both Mother Gaurangi and Mother Fernanda mentioned, including about Srila Prabhupada. And not only did they tear up, they had some of us, myself included, tearing up also. But I couldn't help but remember Srila Prabhupada in a lecture I had on the appearance and disappearance of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur in early 1969. Prabhupada is speaking, and at some point he is saying, I'm an old man, I've come to your country. But by the mercy of my Guru Maharaj, he sent all of you young boys and girls. He gave me a mission, but he sent you to help me fulfill that, to execute that mission. And Prabhupada was expressing his gratitude and his appreciation for his disciples, young boys and girls who had come to serve him. And Prabhupada himself teared up. He choked up and he stopped and he says, just chant Hare Krishna. Prabhupada couldn't speak anymore. And this is proof that Srila Prabhupada lives on. His mission continues in the lives of his devotees. This is living proof of Srila Prabhupada's presence and potency. No one should ever take that for granted. No one for a minute should ever take that for granted and think that Srila Prabhupada is not present and available to them, especially the younger devotees. Srila Prabhupada says the grandfather is more kind, more generous, more compassionate to his grandchildren than the father himself. So he will always be there for all of you, and especially for the young mothers. I remember there was one young mother, I can't remember who it was having difficulty with her parents when she joined Krishna consciousness. And she would speak to Srila Prabhupada. And when she told Srila Prabhupada what she was experiencing, he said, I'm a sannyasi, I'm not supposed to have anything. But if your parents are not supportive, you come to me, I'll take care of you. That is Srila Prabhupada's life. That is Srila Prabhupada's example. Bhaktivinoda Fernanda said in the beginning that what Srila Prabhupada has done is very unorthodox, very revolutionary, to give this facility, and especially to empower these young mothers to serve his mission. And I beg for all God's grace, Srila Prabhupada's mercy to them. Thank you, mothers, very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki. So now we have a short break until time for the yajna. If you mothers would like to chant a little bit, or if you want to take a break, you're welcome to take a break. For those who